So, Sandeep, what exactly onion architecture is? If you want to develop any project, architecture is must. What is architecture? On what standard you are basically, what kind of standard you are following for making a project? You have to have some standard for making a project. So, are you following solid principle in your project? Are you following the design principle called solid principle? Are you following the architecture in your project or not? Then your design pattern comes. First principle, then pattern. I can go to factory, I can go to your singleton pattern. It's just a basically pattern to solve your problem. But what is architecture? Is a design principle. What kind of principle basically you're following for making your project? And then your design pattern comes. So first your standard called principle, then your pattern. So I can go for singleton, I can go for log, because whenever you go for developing any project, log is needed. So every project needs a singleton pattern for maintaining a log. When you play with a large amount of objects and multiple objects, if any object is very heavy by this size, so you have to go for dispose pattern. So every project nowadays needs your at least two pattern. One is called singleton pattern for log maintenance, and your explicit garbage collection is called iDisposable. It's called your free. You can freeze up. You can free your resource unwantedly occupying running in a background. So when you have any large object by this size, definitely. So you have to have garbage collection. So design pattern is basically solution, but solid is basically your design principle. So first we follow principle, then we can go for pattern. Now onion architecture. So what exactly onion architecture is? If you refer the onion architecture, it just said, it just says, I'm having some design principle. And if you follow my design principle, you can develop highly decoupled application, highly decoupled application. So we have two major points under the onion architecture. Onion architecture. What is onion architecture? Just think for onion. One layer, second layer, third layer, and number of layers. So this is basically a shape of onion. So I definitely we go for layer-based applications. So fine. The advantage of using a onion architecture in a project is first advantage, separation of concern. Separation of concern. A second benefit of using onion architecture is the loose coupling. Separation of concern and loose coupling. Now we have MVC just before .NET Core, and before MVC we have ASP.NET, and if you go back, the starting is ASP, WCF, service-based, Web API is again service-based, and if you go back, there is a web service. So best combination was ASP.NET with the web service, then WCF with ASP.NET, then Evergreen MVC as a better front end compared to ASP.NET. Look at service, web service, then WCF service, then web API, then core web API. So why do we go for onion architecture? If you follow the onion architecture, he says the best part of implementing an onion architecture is you can achieve a separation of concern and second called loose coupling. So Sandeep can explain what exactly a separation of concern and loose coupling. Just choose MVC and go for developing any application in MVC. Suppose you have project and I'm having the guidelines for your project. Choose any project, XYZ, any project. I can give you guidelines for that project. But I can't sit with your project to make your project. The one thing is very clear because you know domain part, you know tables part, you know procedure part. So you know the mindset of the project. Yes, I can give you guidelines how you can have best performance and security in your project. Now, if you decided to make any project in MVC, so you can go for separation of concern. What is that? You have separate model folder, separate view folder, definitely, and controller folder. You can go for a business logic layer. You can go for data access layer. You can go for service layer. You can make a facade layer. You can make a multiple layers in your project. It's called separation of concern. So MVC, the best part of MVC is it follow a separation of concern. But in case of ASP.NET, we have to do manually for achieving a separation of concern. But here we have separate model, separate view, separate controller. Then you can make separate folders also. So MVC or ASP.NET both follow separation of concern. But the most important part, why do we go for .NET Core? It supports loose architecture, loose coupling. So if you follow Onion architecture, you can have two major advantages after following my architecture. One is called separation of concern and second is called loose coupling. So what is loose coupling? Suppose if I say there is a table. So making a separate folder and keeping all the relevant classes in that folder is just separation of concern. But it's not a loose coupling. Still it's a tight coupling. Still it's a tight coupling. Listen how. I'm having a table and I want to perform the some operation for this table. So I come back to MVC or come back to any technologies. I just choose suppose Web API or MVC. I do have a one interface. So we can have all the operations in interface. I want to perform X operation, Y operation, Z operation for this table. I do have all the operations list, a list of operations in an interface. That's the best part of interface. Then we define the business logic layer for that operation or for that interface. I have taken suppose user interface, user service class. I'm having the user service class. So user service class is definitely implementing this interface and defining all the functions. Depends on the database interaction by ADO.NET or ORM product called Dapper or Entity Framework. I have taken Entity Framework. I will also go for Dapper, just wait one or two classes more. So I have taken the Entity Framework core, either code first or database first, doesn't matter. I have defined the context for performing the database operations for this table. Now, this is done. Now, once this is done, then we go for taking the controller, because by the controller we can make an endpoint. By the controller we can make a endpoint. So we have taken the now I'm injecting the interface. I'm injecting the interface at controller level. Suppose if I don't use interface, Sandeep, then what will happen? What will happen? I will make one class as we do in ASP.NET. We make a one class and this class will have all the database operations, fine. I'm exposing my class at controller level. You should not expose your class at controller level. Look at here. It's a tight coupling. It's a tight coupling. The reason is controller class will allocate the memory for this class. As you recall ASP.NET, ASPX, still we have CS and we go to making a data access layer, business logic layer. So now you go for any layer, that is the separation of concern. It's still a tight coupling. Why is it tight coupling? Because once you come back to CS file, you instantiate the BAL and BAL can use internally your DAL because we don't directly expose the data access layer by the code behind. One thing is very clear. So code behind communicate to business logic layer A business logic layer is basically instantiating the data access layer. But you have to make an object of business logic layer at this point, and then business logic layer will instantiate the data access layer. It's a tight coupling. Why BAL is responsible for instantiating the DAL, and why code behind is instantiating the business logic layer? Why? So overall, code behind is unwantedly participating for memory instantiation, and BAL needs to communicate to DAL for performing transaction. Why BAL is creating an object. So look at single linked list. This one, this one, this one, and this one point to this one, point to this one. All are basically linked together, but it's chained together, but still there's a tight coupling. If you don't have the address of this node, I can't point to next node. If I don't have the address of the next node, I can't point by this second previous node. This is a tight coupling architecture. So now code behind will allocate the memory for business logic layer, or BAL will allocate the memory for data access layer. Still, separation of concern is there, but still there is a tight coupling. There is no loose coupling. So what is loose coupling? Even though, okay, I should not go for exposing my any class at control level, right? This is the cause I have taken the interface. I have defined all the list of operations within the interface, and behind the curtain for this interface, this is class is working for defining all the functions. At last, this, and now I'm injecting my interface at control level by following the dependency injection technique by parameterized constructor or by properties and method. But still, Sandeep, who will allocate the memory for this class? Still the problem is there. Look at, make it a better diagram, go for it. Sorry, come back here. So there is a controller. There is an interface called I, user operation. I have taken a list of functions for performing an operation over the table. I have taken the class, right? And this class is implementing this interface for defining all the functions, right? Now I'm exposing this interface at control level. So I'm exposing the interface at control level. I'm not exposing the actual implementer at the control level, but no problem. But still, question comes, who will allocate the memory for this class? Somehow, somewhere, Sandeep, you have to involve for memory allocation of this class. So what's the benefit of separation of concern? The benefit of separation of concern is if you go for loose coupling, making a separate room, that's just a separation of concern, but still there are dependencies. I have to make a tea for you. I have to prepare your lunchbox for you. I have to drop you at a school. I have to pick up from you from the school in a main gate of my society. Still there is a dependencies at least. So the base part of .NET Core is it is having IOC container, IOC container, IOC container, inversion of inversion of control, inversion of control. So now you can give the stress for memory allocation of your class to IOC container. Then you can inject proudly this interface at control level, and this class is working for this interface. You should not participate the memory allocation for this class rather than IOC is container is involved for memory allocation of this class with respect to this interface. And this is basically user controller. Now, again, client says, Sandeep, you make one more controller called travel controller. Travel controller, no problem. Give me table, give me list of tables, give me all the relations and all there. I define the interface. I define the interface. I do take all the functions in that interface. I define the class with respect to this interface. I define the class with respect to this interface. And this class will implement and define all the functions by using Dapper or by using entity framework code, doesn't matter. Now, travel is basically controller, right? And we inject this interface at controller level. And again, Sandeep, who will allocate the memory for this class? So still, there is a tight coupling, Still, there is a tight coupling. There is a tight coupling. So by interface, you can go for segregation principle. You should not expose the actual a class actual, you should not expose the class which actually implementing the entire work. You should not expose actually the class who's implementing entire work at the control level. If I go to Maruti showroom, a Maruti workshop, if any problem comes in my car, who comes? The supervisor comes. He takes my request. The person who will repair my car, he will not come. The person who will repair my car, he will not come. He will not communicate to me. Supervisor will come. So tell me your problems in your car. So he gives one paper, I write all the problems. And then supervisor send a request to any um, a person who will repair your car is called mechanic. So now the user will not directly communicate to mechanic. User will communicate to supervisor and supervisor will communicate to mechanic. So at this point, who's supervisor? Sandeep? Interface. And who's mechanic? The business logic layer. Okay, so now everything is smooth, but there's still dependencies, because you have to allocate the memory for this class. I hope it's clear to everyone why do we go for onion architecture, right?
Yes, sir.